Hi, my name is Kstenwall, and I am here to do a poster presentation for you for Nursing 499 with United States University. So this is my poster. Let me kind of explain some of the things to you as we go along. I'm just going to step out of picture here for a moment. So on my background, I want to show you that 1 in 10 adolescents between the ages of 18 to 25 have experienced homelessness in the last 12 months. And then we have 1 in 30 adolescents between 13 and 17 who have experienced homelessness at least once in the last 12 months. So that is where I started with my background. And then there are over 18,000 students in the Omaha area who have been recorded as homeless by the Omaha school system. They are saying that 2,777 of those students are doubled up with other family members. Yet we still have unaccompanied youth, 13 to 18. We have 1,000 of them in the Omaha area who are homeless. So I started looking at that population, and I wanted to look at the interventions that we could do to assist them, find out what type of outcomes we could have, and compare the different interventions to see how they would work out for them. I did this over a 6-week period, but I went back for the last 5 years to get my data. The aims of my study were, during the study, I asked what interventions worked, which ones did not, which ones worked best. And then I went through the methods design and I went through an intensive online research, and I also contacted all of the local areas that would have any contact with the youth, such as homeless shelters, counseling. I contacted the Human Rights Office, HUD office, food shelters, VNA, who went out onto the streets to visit with the homeless, and some of the other places that are homeless friendly. So my proposed interventions, one was prevention, because if we can prevent a problem, then we don't have to deal with the problem. The second one is family strengthening, because if we can family strengthen, since the majority of these kids are from abusive homes or from families who cannot take care of them anymore, if we can strengthen the family, then we can do a prevention. And transitional supporting and subsidized housing are some of the other things that I thought would be very good. I found 54 different interventions, and I composed them down to these 7. Outreach services, connected interventions. So one of the things that I figured was, excuse me, if we can prevent them from becoming homeless at all, then of course, then it is very rare. But if we can hit them during our crisis response here, we can get them into some points where we can start getting them into where, excuse me, where we can get them into somewhere where they can get some help, these entry points, such as the homeless shelters. So the shelters and the housing and the temporary housing, that's when we're hitting our crisis response. And if we can just get those done for them, then the homelessness is brief. If we can get them some stable housing after they've become homeless or before they become homeless, their homelessness might just be a one-time incident rather than chronically or continual. So one of the other things is the expected results. So in the city of Omaha, majority of our population is white, which I'm also showing here on my graph. The majority of the Omaha is white, yet the majority of our homeless and our youth homeless are Black male. So I just kind of wanted to show that. So with the graphs, I updated the numbers, so you'll see where some of them are written on, and that's because I updated that to the newest data. 44% of the youth who are homeless were pregnant young ladies. 18% of them were young men who were either parenting or had a pregnant partner. And This is the scale of the foster care, and as you can see, that is continuing to go up. The Nebraska Nursing Association has petitioned legislature to extend foster care to 21 and to make sure that they get transitional housing. This kind of all works together as one system, and that's why I kind of want you to see it together. So when we're looking at when we are looking at the percentages of reasons why these youth become homeless or leave their settled base, the biggest thing is parents are no longer willing to accommodate them or unable to accommodate them. Because of housing, a lot of parents, like I said, the biggest number of homeless right now are families with children. So if they can no longer be accommodated by their parents, then they're out on the streets. One of the things that is happening is these youth will go to the shelters with their parents, but because he's 18, there may not be room for him there because it's a family shelter, or because there's only so much room at the shelter, some of the older ones are asked to leave. And the other problem is a lot of these families are living in vehicles, and there's also not room for them, so the older ones will leave in order to accommodate the family or to give the younger siblings a space to be able to be safe. So let's look at some other things here. The unaccompanied youth of the 71, like I said, I had 2 under 18 years of age who were totally unsheltered. 18 to 24, there were 16. So this is my totals. These are age under 18, and these are 18 to 24. So this is the thing. If we can prevent homelessness, we can help them get a better education. Children who have no education or high school diploma are 4.5 times more likely to become homeless as a young adult. And if they earn less than $24,000 a year, they are 2.6 times more likely to become homeless as a young adult as well. So if we can prevent that and we can help them get some transitional housing, then we can also help them get back in school and help increase their income, which will help prevent housing and homelessness difficulties later in life. I'm just going to come over here. Excuse me. Sorry. Potential implications for this is I want you to look at the triangle here. And this is showing that the more increasing individual effort is needed, like counseling and education, clinical interventions, long-lasting protective housing, and changing their environment are economic, socioeconomic factors. So down here is where the individual doesn't have to put in a whole lot, where society is putting in a whole lot of effort. Society is putting in more effort. And as we go up the triangle here, then the individual has to be putting in more effort. So they're going to have to be helping themselves. These are the United Nations sustainable goals for us. If we can help these youth prevent homelessness, I did it this way because I want it to look like this is feeding these other goals. So if we can help reduce the inequalities in our society, we can bring some justice and strong institutions for these people, and we can get them some decent work and economic growth, then these things will fall into line. There'll be no poverty. There'll be no hunger. There'll be better health. We'll have more gender equality. If we can get these things to work, then it feeds these and makes them fall into line. So I wanted to thank all of the people who helped me get this project going. And we're continuing to do this project. It's not ending today. So the acknowledgements here, there they are. And my phone number and my email are there. If you have any questions or if you'd like to see a list of my references, I will be happy to send those to you as well. Thank you very much for your time, and please continue to have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.